The man returned home and found, not only is my wife pregnant, still intimate with scheming men, as if they were a couple. I wanted to leave right then, but she caught my hand and said softly, like nothing had happened. That made it worse. How could she act like this after everything we'd been through? This was the same woman who had fought her parents just to be with me. She'd gone against her family, against everything they wanted, just to marry me. I remember how she cried the day we got our marriage certificate, saying I was the only person she'd ever love. She even gave me a signed divorce agreement that day, told me if she ever hurt me, I could walk away at any time. Back then, I thought it meant she really loved me. Now it just felt like a cruel joke. 5 years later, she betrayed me twice. The first time, she got drunk at a friend's party. I came home early and found her with another man. They were kissing right in front of me. I still remember how she looked shocked, scared, and then suddenly crying. She told me it was a mistake, that he reminded her of me, that it meant nothing. I wanted to hate her, but I couldn't. I forgave her, told myself everyone makes mistakes, told myself love could fix this. But then came the second time. She told me she was pregnant. For a brief second, I felt hope. I thought maybe this was a new beginning for us. Then she said the baby wasn't mine. She didn't even try to hide it. She said her parents kept pushing for a grandchild, that she only did it because she didn't want them to look down on me anymore. It's for you, she said. For us. I felt nothing. Just empty. I didn't argue or yell. I went straight to the courthouse the next day and filed for divorce. A month later, it was final. I thought that was the end. But it wasn't. She still called. She still showed up at my place, pretending she cared. Meanwhile, she kept seeing that man, the same one who got her pregnant. I could tell she was falling for him. One day, she asked me to go to a temple to pray for his safety. I thought she was joking, but she was serious. And for some reason, I went. Maybe I still loved her. Maybe I just wanted to prove that I wasn't the heartless one. I knelt for hours, praying for a man I hated. A few days later, I fainted on the stairs and woke up in the hospital. When I opened my eyes, she was sitting beside me, holding my hand. For a moment, it almost felt like before, like we were still us. There were marks on her neck too. I didn't need to ask. I already knew. I threw the water glass off the table, watched it shatter on the floor. She didn't even flinch. When I finally asked her why, she said, once the baby's born, it'll all be over. That was it. That was when I realized it was truly over. That night, I called my uncle. My family had wanted me to come back for years, but I always refused, because of her. This time, I said yes. He told me to wait for him at the airport in a few days. The next morning, I packed my things. Before leaving, I gathered every picture of us, our wedding photos, vacations, everything, and threw them all into the trash. I didn't feel pain anymore, just relief. Later that day, her lover showed up. He smiled like nothing had happened and asked me to help him pick out a suit. I knew what he was doing, trying to show he'd replace me. So I walked into my closet and handed him the suit I wore when I proposed to her. When she saw it, she completely lost it. She started shouting, asking how I could move on so easily. She threw the rest of my clothes on the floor and screamed, "Give him your wedding ring too." So I did. I took it off and placed it in his hand. She stood there, speechless. Then she stormed out. That night, they attended a party together. Everyone said they looked perfect, like they were made for each other. But the man wasn't satisfied. He accused me of putting needles in his clothes, trying to hurt him. I turned to leave, but her father stopped me. He said she was going to be the next head of the family and couldn't lose face. Then he ordered his men to teach me a lesson. They dragged me outside and beat me until I couldn't move. When I finally made it home, I was covered in bruises. On the table were 2 divorce certificates, one for me, one for her. I placed hers neatly on the desk, took mine, and walked out. Before leaving, I told the maid to give her a small box I'd left behind. She nodded, eyes filled with tears. Meanwhile, at the hospital, she sat beside the man who ruined our marriage. When he called to ask about me, he found out I'd left her the divorce papers, but her father took them before she could see. He told the maid to lie, to say the delivery hadn't been opened. He wanted her to stay in the dark until the baby was born. Her mother told her to get back to the ward and look after the man, saying I was just jealous, that I tried to hurt him out of spite. By then, I was already gone. At the airport, I saw my uncle waiting for me. There was a woman standing beside him, smiling softly. I froze when I recognized her. It was an old classmate from years ago. She looked at me the same way she used to back then, kind and gentle, like she saw the real me beneath all the pain.